Ah, another week.
Here we go,
Jim
baby.
Gazzolo, Keith Schroyer. Poke Nation, I want to ask you, I got to ask you this. Is this the dream? Did we see the dream of every mid-major coach program ever with St. Peter's?
What a run. Yes, 100%. I mean, that's why you do it. You know, and it's I mean, you know,
out of nowhere, out of nobody.
Nowhere, you know, and the thing is, it's like, they're a 15 seed, and there's been some 15s that have gotten to the Sweet 16. I think it was 2.
Yeah.
So, you know, you go there as a, you know, low to mid-major. Man, if I can just win a game, right? Well, then you win 1, and you win 2. Then you win 3, and you're like, oh, my goodness.
Well, you knock off of Kentucky.
Yeah.
You knock off the SEC. You knock off the Big Ten.
Yeah, and in a really
a Murray State I thought was going to knock off Purdue and Kentucky.
Me too. I think I agree. I think if Murray, I think whoever won that game, I'm with you. But
I think Murray State was stunned they were playing St. Peter's, and that hurt them.
I agree with that. Here's the thing that people don't realize is that the amount of money, the amount of their St. Peter's website crashed when they beat Kentucky, okay? And the enrollment applications since this run is up 300%.
Well, there you go. That's the dream.
It's what it's about. Like, and that's the thing where, you know, if you're at this level, there's nothing like men's basketball to move the needle financially because you're on linear TV, man. Like, you got Kenny the Jet Smith and Charles Barkley talking about you on CBS
as the story. You're not nobody. You and Mike Krzyzewski are the story of the national.
There's no billboard.
No.
There's no pamphlet. There's nothing a university can do from a marketing standpoint that beats it. Nothing.
All right. I want to get a little bit into the money issue of this. 2 years ago, we had no tournament. Last year, we had a bubble tournament.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was. You said it, but I agree.
It was awful.
But this year, we have the tournament back, and we're seeing what it does. We're seeing how it's a kingmaker for St. Peter's. It does some other things. How important is it to have it back? How important is it for schools of your size to have it back, even if you're not in the tournament?
Oh, it's huge. Financially, that's where we get most of the money. Is just because we have an NCAA tournament and we're in a Division I league that gets a bid. I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I mean, that's how we base our budget. Now, if let's say McNeese goes to the NCAA tournament, and if they, I mean, number one, they get more of the share from the league. If you win a game, everyone in the league gets money, and the person who won it gets even a bigger share. So it can change.
So if Corpus Christi had won the first game in Dayton,
they get in
the league gets
100%. The league gets money, and Corpus Christi gets a huge chunk of money too. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So St. Peter's made their conference money with 3 rounds.
Millions. I'm dead serious. And so, like, if you want to talk again, let's talk about. Okay, the president. If you're the president of St. Peter's, how happy are you? With all due respect, they're not getting all these applications because of their engineering school or business school or what have you. They're getting it because, man, that's cool. Look at them, and that's how it all works. Loyola,
cool to be a peacock.
That's right. Loyola of Chicago, when Porter Moser took them to the Final Four a few years ago, it was the same thing. You're talking about millions and millions of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Nothing else can move the needle like the NCAA tournament. Nothing.
You know, I know Porter Moser.
He's a good man. I like Porter.
Do you?
Yeah. He's a good man. I was a head coach at Wyoming when he was at Illinois State, and he ended up and he got fired there. Worked for Rick Majerus at St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good man. Good coach too.
So, how does McNeese get there?
Got to win. At the end of the day, we have to be better, and you know we host the tournament for 4 straight years. And obviously, first right of refusal after that. So we have to, you know, listen. Men's and women's basketball, baseball and softball in these tournaments starting next year, we got to make hay. I mean, this is our time as a university, as an athletic department.
It's an opportunity. 100%. It's an opportunity you're never going to get again.
And let me tell you this. I've had other head coaches of my friends across the country. I've had administrators. You know, we're going to talk about that. Like, obviously, Tanner Stines is going to be our guest, and you know, he's obviously taking a job for sure.
But you're losing him to Georgia.
To Georgia.
You're not losing him to another Southland Conference team. You're not losing him
Absolutely.
You're losing
to the national
mid-major. You're
champs.
losing to the national champions of football.
But all those people, the coaches and ADs, they've all told me that this now is one of the best low major, mid-major jobs, best one bid league jobs in the country because of the arena. And at the end of the day, you got to win 2 or 3 home games to go to the NCAA tournament. We have to be good. We have to win, and this is our time.
And all the other facilities are getting fixed.
100%.
When we come back, we're going to talk with Tanner Stein about him leaving and his time at McNeese after this on Polk Nation.
Welcome back to Polk Nation. Tanner, welcome back, my man.
How are you?
It's great to
Welcome
have
back
Tanner
and
Stein.
goodbye. Welcome back and goodbye.
I know. It's a really sad day, but it's a really exciting day for Tanner. Obviously, we'll tell Polk Nation what's going on.
So a few weeks ago, I got a phone call. I'm an alumnus of the University of Georgia, and one of my best friends is the athletic director there, and he called and kind of made me an offer I couldn't refuse to come home and help them out with some things they got going on back in Athens.
So obviously it's bittersweet, right? I mean, Tanner and I, have a really great relationship, and from an internal he runs the internal operations of this department, and so he's going to be, really missed. But I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I mean, what a unbelievable he ends up going to national champs. I mean, and I called him twice, and all, I lost to the University of Georgia.
The question I have more than anything. The question I have more than anything is who's gonna sit there and eat waffles with you now?
I don't know. I'm sure he will.
We keep hiring coaches from Georgia. I mean, I can eat waffles with him still.
But it's funny. That I'm sure you'll feel the same way, T. But like that whole process of the football hire is a time I'll never forget. It was stressful. It was hard. He and I spent 10 days in a car together, but like looking back, it was one of the best times I've had in my career, let alone, since I've, sat in this chair. And good thing that car can't talk.
Yeah.
Well, you've been here 7 years,
yep.
Right? You've grown into the position you're in. What position are you going to take there?
So there, I'm going to be over, they're doing about a $250 to $500 million in capital projects. So for the next few years, I'm going to be spearheading a lot of that work for them.
And a chance to go home.
Yep. It's hard once you call it home. I'm an alum. My wife's an alum. So, when somebody calls and says, would you ever come home? Like, you already know part of the answer. You called it home. So
sure.
It's bittersweet. But, I think for what I'll be doing there, after the hurricane recovery,
right, building
the basketball arena twice now, yeah. It probably is the most seamless fit for, a potential return.
What do you think, when you look back on your time here for 6.5 years, when you got here to now, how has McNeese helped you grow, and where do you think, talk about from where you were to where you are now and the growth, and what how did this university and this department help you with that?
I think the opportunities when you come here are to get your hands in a variety of different things. Yeah. A lot of people always ask me when I came here from Georgia, why would you come to McNeese from Georgia? And at Georgia, everything is so specialized. There's 12 people in marketing. There's, 12 people in the business office. You kind of get pigeonholed in what you do right out the gate. And here you get a variety of...
You get everything.
The others' duties as assigned is the 95% of the job. But I think that's one where, you can come here and really grow. I think the perspective going back is, things that I used to think were problems there are very, very minute 1% problems versus, real challenges, but I think there's, a lot of the same issues, coaches come and go, players, student athletes, so it's a lot of the same at the same time.
The thing I want to get into is in 2020, January, you got the interim job. And you got it at such a good time. You're a football coach.
Correct.
The APR situation.
Correct.
And then you get the pandemic. What did you learn from that, especially the pandemic, and how hard was that to go through as an interim, but also having to play the role of being the head of the department?
I think it was only fitting because no one else knew any more than I knew anywhere else in the country. Like, you know, you woke up and you did today for today, and then we figured it out. I think it also, that Heath likes to say, like, if it's not fires everywhere and things going sideways, like, I don't operate unless it's complete and total chaos. Like, on a normal day in the office, I can't get enough juice going. So that probably then, leading into the fall with the hurricanes and everything, probably prepared me better than anything else for just that chaos management as we were going through it.
We do. We laugh all the time. Like, the more chaos, the more change, the more you start to see them, like, it's almost like perk up. It's like, okay, here we go, here we go. I'm like, T, man, like, what? He goes, oh, no, this is me. Yeah. This was when I'm in my best.
Well, he's had the chaos. He's had to go through, what, 4 football coaches in the last?
Yes. I've been through as many football coaches as I've been through ticket managers since we've been here, so.
And you've had to go through a couple of athletic directors? 3 athletic directors since you've been here?
No.
Just 2?
2. Mm-hmm. 2 presidents.
This is a lot in 6.5, 7 years.
What I love is the fact that you had to build this building twice.
2 basketball arenas.
2 basketball arenas, all at the same time, trying to. How hard was it through the hurricanes just to stay in touch with the athletes? Because you had the pandemic kind of taught you everything's going to be virtual for a while. Then you had to stay in touch with them when they were trying to find housing.
I think because of the pandemic and because we had pre-taught them all how to do online class and online meetings and everything, then when we got into the hurricane, they couldn't be in person in the buildings. It actually made it a simpler transition than might have been had we gone from every day face-to-face to not seeing anybody for 2 months at a time.
When we come back on Poke Nation, we'll hear what Tanner thinks about the boss down there. What he really thinks, because now we can get to the dirt after this on Poke Nation. Welcome back with Tanner Stein, and Tanner's getting to leave to go to Georgia. How far is this program, and what are the changes this program has you've seen in 6 years, and where is it now as a mid-major?
I think the biggest thing since being here is just optimism. I think, you know, when I came, most everybody you talk to, coaches, staff in the building, were always kind of on the negative side of everything. I think some of that, I'm not saying it's eliminated. I mean, everybody likes to have their days where they complain, but I think overall, everyone seems to be a lot more upbeat, on an uptick. I think a lot of your newer employees, you know, some of those entry-level jobs rotate every 3 years or so. So when you bring in the new kids, like we said, their energy they bring to the building, they're full of hope and optimism, and I think that kind of becomes contagious throughout the building.
What are you going to miss? I mean, when you from a department standpoint or a university standpoint, and then from a Lake Charles standpoint, because you and I talked about what a great place this is to live, but from a department and from a town, what are you going to miss?
I think you know, I know what I'm going into, and it's a lot more corporate. It's a lot more business. Everybody does their job. You know, the office morale, the same 12 people that are running the place 9 to 5 are the same 12 people that are at the events every time. So you get really close with those relationships. As far as the town goes, I mean, I venture to say I actually lose a lot of weight when I go back because not everything is rice gravy and something fried on top of it. But other than that, you know, it's the people, like the same people that come to our games are the same people that we go to their restaurants or, you know, we like to joke, like Dr. Wilder's my physician, my wife's physician, like everybody's doctor that I know, and then we go listen to him play guitar at a bar on the weekends too. So like, it's a unique place that is a real hidden gem.
Is there a point in time when you were here where you thought this place was going really good, and then when the hurricanes hit, how hard was it to rebuild that? Just get that attitude back?
I think I think there was some optimism. I don't know that. I think the energy off that whole coming out of COVID, we hadn't really come out of COVID yet when we had the hurricanes. It was just like when everyone else started coming out of COVID, we weren't. We were like in this paused bubble. And so I think that took a lot, of trying to just keep everybody talking about the new things. We're getting a new press box. We got to redo all the things we didn't like about the basketball arena, and not saying that we have to do them, but we get to do them.
Yeah, I mean, and from the neat thing about Tanner too, and you can, I really want you to kind of elaborate on this, but he's got people and has had people under him that have really grown. When you think about Jen Green and Logan and obviously Melanie Coyne and, PJ, like all the younger generation, if you will, talk about, from your role, talk about watching the growth of those people and they're not kids, but, the new wave, if you will. Talk about that and what that means to you and how you've liked that part of your role.
Yeah, I think, you could really get bogged down in having to reteach the jobs to people, but I think seeing, using like Jen Green, for example, she was my intern and then was our graduate assistant and is now the head of our marketing department. And just year over year, them picking things up and coming with new ideas and bringing stuff kind of keeps you revitalized. We're all getting older every single day, but they seem to be the same age. Every time we hire them, they're all the same age. So I really think that progression, and then seeing them leave, some of the former people that had left went on to be administrators and got jobs at other schools, and then being able to follow them as they've gone across the country.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to ask you guys, because you, especially for being here for 6.5 years, when you got here, a lot of the talk was McNeese was kind of a place you go to retire, or it was a place where you settled. Now we're seeing a bunch of people, and you're now included in this, as younger people coming in, growing, and then taking kind of what they learn here and going elsewhere. Is there kind of a sense of pride you see in that now, because you're a part of kind of changing that wave of people and changing kind of the attitude of getting younger, getting more aggressive, and being a part of the whole kind of national scene?
Yeah, I think it makes it a lot easier to recruit younger talent too. We've got a couple open positions with Melanie leaving as well, and the scope of people that applied aren't all from Southwest Louisiana. Like, we've got people from California to Dartmouth to the Northwestern, not the school in Natchitoches, who are wanting to come take entry-level jobs here, because it's kind of become like the kingmaker. You can come do 3 or 4 years here and then really go get a job that you might not have been an opportunity to get. So, everybody wants 3 years experience for everything nowadays. Why not get your 3 years here?
Yeah, no, that's the biggest difference I've seen in the last 10 years, is we now have a place where people want to come and kind of learn and grow and be part of the whole national scene, and kind of just coming to retire. The un-McNeesing of McNeese, I guess.
That's true. Well, I will tell you, and I tell everyone this, but what I've always said this as a coach and in any leadership role, the key is do you leave the place better than when you found it? And there is not a question in anyone's mind that you have left this place a hell of a lot better than you found it. And I can never thank you enough for all that you've done for this department and this university, man.
Thank you.
For real. It's big time.
And you're going to the national champion team.
I called him twice, and I said, what if I did this? What if I did this? And he goes, Heath, it's Georgia. Okay, I got it.
We'll get Coach's final thoughts when we get back on Polk Nation after this. We're back on Polk Nation. You're going to miss him, Tanner Stines.
A lot.
He's your Waffle House buddy.
To be completely transparent, obviously when I, became the AD or the interim, the first month was obviously difficult. I think we'd both admit that, and we've talked about that. But Tanner and I work really, really well together. We ended up becoming really good friends. we laugh all the time, but what his strengths are is my weaknesses, and vice versa.
He's got a lot of strengths.
For sure. We get a lot of, I mean, we do. We work well together, and it's someone that I'm really, really going to miss. But I'm still going to rely on him, even from afar, because no one knows the inner workings of this university and this department better than him. And he's really, I mean, he is so good.
Well, you guys had the weird relationship of he was your boss as the interim, and then you flipped, and that's always kind of a weird thing. But no, it's interesting because he took them through. I thought before the hurricanes and that, I thought the pandemic thing, how he handled it, how he all of a sudden became a leader of the conference, and a lot of people looking up to him was really amazing.
No, he's great. I mean, he's got an unbelievable career in athletic administration ahead of him, and it's going to be really exciting to not only stay in touch with him and his wife Megan, but to watch his career really unfold. And but he's going to be an unbelievable AD if that's what he wants to do.
Now, we've heard about it for months. You've pumped it up.
It's going to be the greatest party. The Gatsby.
It's here.
It's here.
It's sold out.
It's sold out. It's sold out.
Where's it at?
The fire marshal shut us down. We can't get any more people.
Where's it at?
It's at LeBeur's Casino. It is at the doors open. Registration.
And you're not Gatsby.
Nope. Registration and cocktail hour starts at 6. It is. I'm not even like. I'm just telling you. When people leave there, they're going to say, "Oh my gosh, they've never seen anything like it."
Are we really going to have people hanging from the ceiling?
100%. I got guys on stilts. I have a girl in a champagne glass handing out champagne. I'm telling you, it's going to be the party of the year.
So you're the guy that brought us the Friday night concerts.
Block parties, yeah.
Now you're bringing us this. What's next?
Hey, you think?
Stay tuned?
Stay tuned. It's always something. But I will tell you, it's going to be, it will, I want it to be what people really look forward to every year. You know, it really is, it's kind of like a Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah, you want to make this happen every year.
100%. It's going to be a yearly thing.
How do we not see you at golf this weekend? I saw your buddies at golf.
I popped over there for just a little bit.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
But honestly, I've been working on, me and the committee, we're really working on tables and all those things. I mean, the decorations alone, all that stuff. Like, it's a lot, man. Like, you put 100 tables in there, it's a lot of work.
It's amazing.
It's going to be great. I cannot wait. I mean, and people are going to, they've never seen anything like it, I promise you. It's even like I'm excited about it because I went through the walkthrough today, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be epic.
And that's Saturday night?
Saturday night, 100%. And I've saved two tickets.
I've honestly never seen a guy more excited about it.
I saved 2 tickets for you and your wife.
I'll let you know tonight.
All right. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it
tonight.
I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, you always say that when it's free. Man gives away free beer like nobody else. Real quick, Lamar coming back in the conference, yes or no?
I mean, they're one that we're really talking to a lot, but hopefully, I mean, I think it makes sense for them. But you know, obviously they're through, you know, a transition themselves right now with an AD, so we'll see.
And we got Gatsby coming up. What more could you want? We'll talk about it next week on Polk Nation.